All right. I'm going to sit here and stare at the camera while my YouTube page loads. Thank you guys for being here. I am I'm going to pausing the feed so I can jump back over to not Marco Polo. I am not on Marco Polo. I am in Zoom. I'm joining YouTube from Zoom today. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'm not able to see your comments, but I'm grateful for your attendance. And as always, you guys can catch this video later on at Willow Tarot on YouTube. So we're going to kick off today's read from the book with Bree. Bree, go ahead. I'll set that timer for you.
Hello, everyone. Today I chose to read from Seasons of the Witch with the Oracle, and I'm just going to ask what we all need to know today. We got card number 1, and it's called Bike Ride. It's a cute little card. And there's a quote on the card, and it says, "It is in the stillness and presence of the journey that you will find yourself exactly where you need to be." And I don't pull this card really ever actually, so I'm excited to read the book. So the keywords for this card is unhurried, enjoying the moment, the long way home. Some summer days beg for a slower pace. Those days when the sun is shining, but there's just a bit of breeze to keep you cool. Flowers are dancing in the meadows, birds are singing along, and a butterfly comes to rest on your shoulder as though to remind you to stop and enjoy the little things. There are days when you just don't feel like being rushed or productive. Those days when you'd rather spend time doing what you love and with who you love. And when you take the long way home, not because you have to, but because the world can just wait. Pulling this card is your sign to embrace this kind of day. It will appear when you are rushing through life without being present for it. You may recognize the symptoms of moving too fast, feeling anxious, doing a lot but accomplishing very little, a lack of focus and getting lost in daydreams, feelings of doubt or confusion about the future, or a deep desire to do nothing. Those feelings aren't manifestations of laziness or a lack of motivation. They are reminders that there is more to life than work and checking off another item on your to-do list. There's a presence practice. This practice will bring you back to the presence, allowing you to pull yourself in and be in the moment. Close your eyes for a moment and take 4 slow, deep breaths. With each breath, you are going to focus on your senses. With your first breath, focus on feeling. Is it the wind embracing you? And do you feel the sun's warmth kissing your flesh? What do you feel? With the second breath, focus on sound and try to connect with nature sounds such as birds, water, wind, or the crackling of a fire. Listening to the sound of your breath is also a great way to bring yourself back. With the third breath, focus on sights, opening your eyes and looking around. Slow everything down as though you've pressed the slow motion button on life. On your last breath, focus on combining feeling, sound, and sight, and creating an experience curated by you and the life around you, a slower, intentional, and more intimate experience of presence. And I love that because I actually joined another group last night and we did an experience where we opened up the card and we listed 5 things we could see, 4 things we could touch if we were in the card, 3 things that we could hear, 2 things we could smell, and 1 thing we could taste as if we were in this card. So I love that this message is coming through again about just being really intentional, being present, and just kind of slowing down. And it's also the weekend for most of us. We're not working. So I think this is a great reminder for all of us today to just slow down and kind of keep that reminder. Um, I see I have about 3 minutes left, so I'm going to go for one other card. I'm going to keep it in the same family. I know it is not winter, but this is the only deck she has out right now. I'm excited for her fall deck, but I'm going to pull one card from her tarot, Seasons of the Witch Winter Tarot. Oh, okay. And we have Ace of Winter Cups. There we go. So it says, a joyous maiden holds the cup at her heart space, allowing the light to fill her, heal her wounds, and open her up to love. It's not just romantic love, but a renewed sense of vitality, connection, friendship, and even a love for her passions and zest for life. An angel watches over her, encasing her in universal love. She doesn't know the angel's there, but she can feel her heart thawing a little bit more with each passing moment. There's so much hope being offered to her, and she's decided to claim it. The Ace of Winter Cups marks the beginning of an emotional journey. Here, the heart is gifted with a seed of healing and openness, a small window of opportunity to fall in love, not just romantically, but to embrace all forms of love. It's so easy to assume this card, and even the whole suit of cups only represent an intimate relationship, but anything that touches your heart is represented here. The love of your family and friends, or an idea, a hobby, love for a business partnership, or a general love of life, or self-love, to name a few. The ace represents potential for new beginnings, and it's your choice to claim when it appears. This card is resonating, yes, encouraging you to be vulnerable in your situation. This is a happy card that represents your chance to fill your cup with joy. In a more practical sense, pulling this card represents the conception of something such as a pregnancy, new relationship, creative adventure, or new idea. The negative expression of this card is missing out on something that could change you in the best possible way, and perhaps you won't even realize it until it's gone. So I love that because this is also really just about the start of that beginning, and also kind of being present as well. So I really love how that kind of ties in.
Yeah, I never thought about the aces. Well, the aces are the beginning, but I thought when you're reading that, I was like, yeah, seeds don't just grow year round. They have windows of opportunity to grow, perpetuate, and so do the aces. I never thought about that. I like that.
And you need to have moments of stillness as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And you can't always be productive and growing all the time. There are moments of that pause and that fertilization process where, yeah, so I love that.
It's cool. Those good pulls. All right, I will go. My plan was to pull from Oracle of the Divine by Yoshitani, and then go to the book that I just bought that she has illustrated and published. We're just going to go to the book. This is not the guidebook. It's a book of stories based on the cards in the deck, but aligning the card to the story in the book it's not easy. So we're going to go straight to the larger book. They're one-page stories. Okay, let me do this. Is also called, this is a form of divination. Like the idea is, I don't know if you can see my book, but it's like one way. So like you go in like this, bibliomancy. This is called bibliomancy. Go like this and then just finger down. And we're gonna read, oh, I can't even say their name, but we're gonna read this. It's two women's, and looks to me a very loving embrace, platonic, romantic, familial, I don't know. But love is love is love. The label that humans put out there is just for us to be perverted. Okay. All right, here we go. Tale of Taja Maluk and the Princess Dunya. This is from Iran, and so it's an Arabic folktale. Prince Taja Maluk, son of King Suleiman, Shah of the Green Land and the mountains of Isfahan, was 18 when he met Aziz, a merchant from a distant land. Aziz showed Taj al-Muluk his many wares, but most stunning of all was a piece of linen depicting graceful, prancing gazelles. He went on to tell the prince that the work was created by the hands of the beautiful and clever Princess Dunya of the Camphor Islands. Without having met her, Taj al-Muluk became infatuated with the princess, so he had his father send a delegation to her to ask for her hand in marriage. However, Princess Dunya told them she hated men and threatened to kill any husband she was forced to marry. Undeterred, Taja Maluk, his vizier, and Aziz snuck into the Camphor Islands in the guise of merchants and set up shop selling fabric in the bazaar. Soon after, an old woman came to their store to purchase fabric for Princess Dunya. Taja Maluk gave her the fabric as a gift and slipped her a letter to give Princess Dunya. And in this way, Taja Maluk and Dunya exchanged many letters. Taja Maluk fell more deeply in love with her, and she began to feel affection for him also. but she refused to change her mind about marriage. The old woman told Taja Maluk that the princess once had a dream of a female pigeon who was trapped in a net and whose mate did not come to save her. The princess concluded she could never trust men. Taja Maluk took this knowledge and commissioned a painting in a garden the princess visited regularly. The painting depicted a female pigeon trapped in a net and her mate caught in the claws of a kite. When Dunya saw this, she realized she had misinterpreted her dream. So when Taja Maluk presented himself, she fell deeply in love with him. They consummated their love, and Taja Maluk remained hidden in the women's quarters, disguised as a young lady for many months. The vizier, not knowing what had happened to Taja Maluk, summoned the king and his army to rescue the prince. The king arrived, the prince was revealed, and an official marriage was arranged between the lovers. Okay, I love that love story. That's some crazy shit right there. As far as what this could mean in a card, and I did not set my timer, so I will be brief. There is a form of like, there's deception at hand, so we can look. It's like the Seven of Wands. I'll be very quick. But deception here, who's at fault? If you look at each of the characters, I think that I can see something of myself in all of them, just like tarot cards. So however I personally relate to a character in a story is a direct reflection of characteristics of myself. That's something really important for me to remember. All right, I'm going to pause because I didn't set my timer. That is a crazy love story, though. Could you imagine? I mean, does that make any sense? You sneak away from your house, you're a prince, your dad doesn't know where you are, so he sends a fucking army to bring you back. I mean, I've gone to the mall to pick up stray children, but I've never sent an army, you know? That's intense. That's like, there's a lot of deception in stories, older stories, and usually towards the woman. Like, what's the other one? We'll move on. The guy with the windmills. No one. It'll come to me. Okay, so next is Crescent. I'm just gonna call on you. I'm thinking everyone's reading. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I have this deck, which is called the Alchemy of Awareness, and it's got the message on the card itself. So I'm just gonna start reading, I don't know how many minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Okay. The first one I have is Legacy Unwritten. And it says, you have spent a lifetime learning how to fit in, stay safe, and succeed. But have you taken the time to consider who upholding these values and ideals benefits? Before you accept anything as yours, ask, when did this begin? Who needed this to be true and why? Questioning isn't betrayal, it's liberation. Healing what blind loyalty cannot. Remember, there is no age limit on expansion. This next card is Sovereign Choice. There we go. It says, does something or someone have an energetic grip on you? Maybe you're fighting the invisible pull of an old habit, a toxic tie, or a craving disguised as connection. What is keeping you tied, and are you really attached to it? Is it love, guilt, fear, obligation, or something else? Is it worth it? Give yourself the space to decide. Resurrection. Have you dimmed so others could shine, blending in and shadowing your shine? Do you numb your senses in that magical itch? Magic suppressed becomes unrest, humming in your bones, stirring in your chest, begging to be resurrected. Your magic will no longer get you burned. It's time to rise and to return. Your truth is medicine reborn. Let's see. Pardon the past. That's there. You've constructed a wall of stone, keeping you from being vulnerable and opening fully to love. These rocks of resentment cause blockages, habitual holds that keep you from reaching greater heights. While it may seem justified, consider who withholding forgiveness actually hurts. You are not here to hold grudges, so take the necessary steps to move forward with your life. Firm foundation. You're being asked to take a look at your relationship with money. Have you been casual with your finances, maybe even proudly indifferent? It's time to step up. Your future self needs you to make decisions with clarity, intention, and care. This isn't about scarcity or chasing status. It's about honoring your time and energy. Money is a tool. It can support your dreams, anchor your peace, and offer choice when it matters most. Respecting your resources is an act of self-devotion. Your future deserves a foundation to build on. Honor that. Trigonometry. Sometimes protecting your peace is the priority, and avoidance gives you the space to heal. But when the time comes to grow, true evolution requires more than retreat. Consider challenges and triggers as opportunities to level up. Every confrontation is an invitation to respond to a new way, to meet your edge and expand. Triggers become the teacher, testing for intentional responses. This is how healing is embodied and transformation takes root. Burnt offerings. There we go. Being agreeable has kept you safe and perhaps even praised. You've learned how to be easy and accommodating, but there's a cost to always yielding. Your needs go unmet, your desires go numb, and your worth starts feeling conditional. You don't have to be convenient to be loved. Having needs doesn't make you difficult, it makes you human. Speak up, take up space, ask for what you need. Pay attention. There we go. Discomfort, tension, and fatigue aren't just inconveniences, they're messages. Your body is trying to communicate. It's not broken for betraying you, but calling to you. Stress, suppressed emotions, and unmet needs all leave a mark. Instead of pushing through or brushing it off, slow down and listen. When you respond with curiosity instead of judgment, your body can become an ally in your return to balance and wellness. Inconvenient integrity. You carry a quiet but unwavering sense of what is right. Even when no one's watching, even when it costs you comfort or connection, you hold your ground. Others may not see the battles you have fought or the temptations you have turned down. The path you choose is one of integrity. Your values are your bones, and in a world that usually bends, that is an exceptional kind of strength. Let's see. Okay, Space Keeper. Without needing to fix or flee, you know how to simply sit with someone in their storm. People feel like they can bring their real selves to you, their grief, their joy, their shame, their dreams, and not be turned away. You hold emotional space like the night sky, offering vastness without needing to fill it. Don't underestimate what this offers to the world. Few know how to create this sacred space. And I've only got a few seconds left, so.
Those were cool. I've seen that deck. Love the colors. I love. All right, Steve, what do you have? Go ahead. You're muted right now. Okay. So you're still muted. You did unmute, but it went back to mute. Oh, I love that deck. I have that deck.
This is from the Tarot of the Woodland Wardens. It's a new deck. And so I'm asking the question, how do I achieve my highest possible self? And this is the Six of Swords, and that's Buffalo. The six, they call it arrows. The Six of Arrows illustrates a journey into the unknown. The time is coming to pick up our belongings, gather our people, and voyage across the open water. We're not alone, but have support from friends or family, but the way is uncertain. Although we don't know what we will find when we reach our destination, or what trouble will greet us along the way, we must leave now while our vessel is still afloat. A family of bison fords of both have been pierced by 6 arrows. The North American buffalo was an extremely important resource by various Native American people. ravaged by white colonists wanted overhunting. This made justice animal all but disappeared by the late 1800s. Also, reality is far more grim. We imagined them departing a hostile environment and reestablishing their home elsewhere. Upright. You are taking action and leaving the situation that no longer serves you. While the future is uncertain, you will have a support system in place and ready to face new challenges. Reverse. Change can be a scary thing, and you're doing your best to avoid it, which is called stagnation. There's something better out there, and only you can start paddling forward, one stroke at a time. Especially, how do I know when it's time to leave? How can I protect myself and loved ones from the harm? And that's my reading.
Very cool. You know, when you were talking about the Six of Swords, I was picturing the Rider-Waite-Smith RWS version. And there's a common theme of like, on the right side of the boat, we got the choppy water, right? And on the left side of the boat, we got the calm. We're leaving our troubled stages for our calm stages. However the fuck you want to read it. Undertow. Who cares? But I'm like, well, the dude's got, because I pulled the card to make sure I was right. He's got his staff planted on the choppy water side. But in reality, you would have it planted probably on the opposing side to keep your craft steady. I don't think that is choppy water. I think it's a waterfall. I think it's a strong current pulling him in the boat in a direction he doesn't want to go or intends to navigate as carefully as possible. Never thought about that. It's always just been a lake or an ocean, but a waterfall as the water in the Six of Swords. A large lake that has, or whatever, body of water with a waterfall. Because then you move directly to the Seven of Swords, which doesn't have any water at all. How far did the character go downstream before he stole those cards, and why? You know, that imagine that it's the same person in each card, or the same story with different characters, but that story doesn't stop. It continues the whole way through the suit. Tarot is just one long ass story. Fun one, and it changes every time you read it. Go ahead, Steve. You're looking in like, did you want to offer?
Yeah. Well, I was saying it's sort of a metaphor. In other words, you're going to the highest possible self. You're not changing your geographical place. It's just you're going to a different state of mind. So they're using a metaphor to illustrate it.
The waterfall is a metaphor for a different state of mind.
Or you're on the boat and you're traveling somewhere.
Well, yeah, I get the cards offer metaphors. Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Yes, and they can. I like that's what makes it so interesting too, because they can get interpreted all different ways, but all the interpretations are indeed correct. Love it. Go ahead, Bree.
I was gonna say first, I love your oversized deck. Amazing.
Mhm.
And second of all, I was just thinking when you would put that paddle into the water, it creates ripples, right? To when you stick that paddle in,
If
that
it is a paddle, if
yeah.
it is a paddle, it could just be
I could be, oh, like a stick.
the gondoliers in Italy, those sticks they use to make the what the fuck
Is it just a stick? But it would have like a paddle to a degree on the bottom to help
No,
you.
not if it's shallow water. Think about boats in shallow water don't use paddles. They use, I'm gonna call it a pole. They use poles because they can push off because it's shallow. Now, it could be a paddle. Not I'm saying, but what if it's not? What if it's a stick? You know? Okay, but go ahead. I'm so sorry, I interrupted. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that was great. That was my thought. I was like, if it's a paddle and you're creating the ripples, you could be causing the ripple as you're paddling.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it would give the opportunity for the other side to settle. And then when you pick it up, same thing on the other side. So I don't know. That card always got me.
Yes.
Because it was.
I mean, there's a lot because you can see the way that the currents hit the side of the boat in the six on the right hand side too. It's like, where are they fucking coming from? Okay, so I'm gonna give the artist Pamela Coleman Smith a little bit of flexibility here and being like, well, she was just drawing water. Maybe she wasn't. She's thought about a lot. Maybe the current isn't necessarily how we'd actually see it hit the boat. It should be hitting it from the other angle, flat-sided, not leading into it. If you consider what can cause the water to move that way, to hit the boat that way. It'll give us an idea of what is right next to that boat. Is it a waterfall? Is it a giant fucking otter that's splashing all around? Is it several hundred boats, just like this one? And it's refugees and a mass exodus. I mean, it can be anything, and it can apply to our current day, especially with refugees. It can be anything. It could be the Six of Swords could, or sorry, of Wands could, or no, it is Swords. Six of Swords could be every dimensional life you have ever encountered coming to you in one moment, and that is what is creating that current. All those fucking boats is every one of your dimensional lives. Or if you're getting ready to go into a mediumship session, every one of the spirits that is about to come to you, already churning the waters of your mind to get the messages through. They're letting you know they're here. You can do whatever you want. I fucking love tarot because it's just right there. It's like, let's imagine, like literally, whatever you think is real is true in tarot. So go for it. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, fine. I was just curious. I think the Wheel of Fortune would be a good card to go with that, because so you have to remember, you get the other side, it might not be what you want, but you can try again, and eventually you'll find what you want.
Or yeah, and what if you're the operator and it's a Ferris wheel and you're just the person pulling the handle to stop and start it? Or you're the mechanic that they call once every 6 months to give it a tune-up, and you're not actually a part of this reality. You just check in twice a year to see what's going on this planet. You're a starseed. Yeah, I love it. Sorry, it's just, I'm just really saying anything you think is true, is correct, is right. Go for it. All right, Pontum, you are next. Go ahead.
I went already.
I said Pontum. Did you want to read Pontum? Is that cool? If you don't want to read, you don't have to. Okay, cool.
I do. I just got called from the outside there for a second. All right, I'm going to be reading from Visionary I Ching. They do have little blurbs in the book, in the guidebook, but I'm going to be reading from the Everyday I Ching instead. So it's got a little bit more meaty answers in there, and just I resonate with the book very well. So. And I'm going to be reading into the energy of the what is it that we could all benefit from here. So, even viewers. The I Ching is a set of 2 trigrams on top of each other that create a hexagram. So the hexagram here is number 46, pushing forward. And the picture depicts the trigram of earth over the trigram of wind. So, and you can see you've got the earth here, digging down with the seed into roots into the ground. And then above, with the wind, you have it creating somewhat of a lotus on top of here, a lotus flower. So it's like this plant is a lotus flower blooming from like this volcanic looking structure here. So let me scroll through here and try to find hexagram 46. Intense scrolling. All right. 46. This is a most favorable time for you. Indeed, it is at times like this that dreams can come true. Aim high, for nothing can stop you. Conditions are such that every move you make will lead you closer to certain success. You will meet with great fortune. Nothing can stop it. You have no reason at all to be anxious. The foundations of your success are already firmly in place. All you need to do is keep your head. Carry on making steady progress, one step at a time. Believe in yourself and your abilities. You have every reason to be positive and optimistic. If anything appears to be standing in your way, it can now be easily dealt with. Relationships will thrive now. Do not hesitate to approach people who have the necessary authority or influence to help you. You can be confident of getting all the support you need. Your efforts will gain recognition. It is time for you to step into the spotlight. And then it says an opportunity for growth is make a commitment to bringing out the best in yourself. Do not be willing to settle for anything less. Decide what it is that you value most. Consider the direction in which you want your life to go. Once you know where your priorities lie, make sure that you put them into practice in your everyday life. Let them be the basis for the decisions you make daily, no matter how large or small. Each choice you make in your ordinary day-to-day life can lead you one step closer or one step nearer to your goal. It is a matter of acquiring self-discipline. Great achievements are the result of ongoing, unwavering progress. And what's interesting about this is, so you think of the earth and you think of the wind. The earth has potential for growth and things like this, and you can see that in the picture with it setting roots, the nutrients in the earth, allowing the wind up here to bloom into a lotus. But the passage here, I think, kind of alludes more to like you have the potential, but that potential isn't just going to just be like, it's not a wind that just carries you in and of itself. It requires your attentive devotion, discipline, and for you to channel or harness that potential into something. It talks about keeping your goals, having direction, knowing where you're going, knowing your values. It didn't use the word values, but it does kind of like say, know what it is that is within you so that you can mold this potential into whatever it is you want. And then don't be afraid to harness the potential of others, administrators, or people around you with some level of influence, because they're going to help you achieve what it is that you want to achieve. So that does kind of like imply to me that it's also saying you probably have a likelihood of not tapping into the potential of those around you, and to actually take that into consideration as you're going forward. So.
I like that. I was thinking, where's my time? I was thinking that like the wind also helps the seeds travel. And it can also be like human words. You might mention a thought or share something in passing, and it doesn't necessarily have an impact that you can note then, but it had an impact. Colette Baron Reed coined a term called cleat-on, and it's if you're overhearing a conversation not meant for you, but something comes through, it has a larger meaning or a different meaning. They're talking about their two dogs, but you realize it's actually about like something that has nothing to do with their dogs, but it applies to you. A cleat-on. And that's like wind carrying seeds so that ideas can grow or plants can grow. Let me get to the timer. I like that. I put the I Ching in my Amazon cart. Ponto, when you showed me that, I hopped over to Amazon really quick, which I don't normally do, but I'll forget. I was like, drop it in the cart, save for later. So thank you. That was a great share. I love that deck. I love this. I love this, seeing all these decks. All right. Now, LB, I would say she's got some rare decks. So, and she'll be reading from Light Seers today. No, I'm kidding. LB, go ahead.
I'm using a rare I Ching deck from Germany that I translated for you guys, and this is from the 90s. And so I think that's funny that me and Ponton both chose I Ching today. So this says, dream figures and luminous insight grow upon black jewels. Behold in sleep the flowing consciousness, the spiritual veil of cosmic being. This is the wind over wind hexagram 57. And it says, The gentle way acts invisibly and yet has great visible effect. It penetrates everything and, through steadfastness, reaches its goal. Every difficulty can be overcome by allowing the energy of love to increase until it fully embraces the qualities of a given situation and can deal with it clearly. Penetration is a double sign, the confirmation of its gentle influence. The wind is not visible, yet its effect is penetrating and influences the entire world in its appearance and transformations. It moves through the clouds and brings forth the clarity of the heavens applied to human relationships. Clear judgment destroys insincere intentions, and in the political sphere, a penetrating authority is capable of uncovering negative intentions and plans. To achieve a goal, gradual and steady action is important while maintaining concentration on a constant direction and keeping the goal clearly in view is recommended. And I also pulled some tarot, and I told Elizabeth that I was going to read from the Ojon Sin, which is one of my favorite tarot decks ever. And for this meeting, I like to pick the cards I'm going to read based on the image. I don't shuffle. So just letting you know how I got these cards. So this first one is politics. Do you recognize this man? All but the most innocent and sincere of us have a politician lurking somewhere in our minds. In fact, the mind is political. Its very nature is to plan and scheme and try to manipulate situations and people so that it can get what it wants. Here, the mind is represented by the snake covered with clouds and speaking with a forked tongue. But the important thing to realize about this card is that both faces are false. The sweet, innocent, trust me face is a mask, and the evil, toxic, I'll have my way with you face is a mask too. Politicians don't have real faces. The whole game is a lie. Take a good look at yourself to see if you have been playing this game. What you may see may be painful, but not as painful as continuing to play. It doesn't serve anybody's interests in the end, least of all yours. Whatever you may achieve in this way would just turn to dust in your hands. Anybody who can be a good pretender, a hypocrite, will become your leader politically, will become your priest religiously. All that he needs is hypocrisy. All that he needs is cunningness. All that he needs is a facade to hide behind. Your politicians live double lives. Your priests live double lives. One life from the front door, the other from the back door. And the back door life is their real life. Those front door smiles are just false. Those face looking so innocent are just cultivated. If you want to see the reality of the politicians, you have to see him from his back door. There he is in his nudity as he is, and so is the priest. These two kinds of cunning people have dominated humanity. And they found out very early on that if you want to dominate humanity, you make it weak, make it feel guilty, make it feel unworthy, destroy its dignity, take all glory away from it, humiliate it. And they found such a subtle ways of humiliation that they don't come into the picture at all. They leave it to you to humiliate yourself, to destroy yourself. They have taught you a kind of slow suicide. I think I have time for one more card, and it is traveling. The tiny figure moving on the path through this beautiful landscape is not concerned about the goal. He or she knows that the journey is the goal. The pilgrimage itself is the sacred place. Each step on the path is important in itself. When this card appears in a reading, it indicates a time of movement and change. It may be a physical movement from one place to the next and an inner movement from one way of being to another. But whatever the case, this card promises that the going will be easy and will bring a sense of adventure and growth. There is no need to struggle or plan too much. Traveling card also reminds us to accept and embrace the new, just as when we travel to another country with a different culture and environment than the one we are accustomed to. This attitude of openness and acceptance invites new friends and experiences into our lives. Life is always and always a continuity. There is no final destination. It is going forward. Just the pilgrimage, just the journey itself is life, not reaching to some point, no goal, just dancing and being an pilgrimage, moving joyously without bothering about any destination. What will you do by reaching a destination? Nobody has asked this because everybody is trying to have some destination in life. But the implications, dot, dot, dot. If you really reach the destination of life, then what? Then you will look very embarrassed. nowhere to go. You have reached the final destination, and in the journey, you have lost everything. You had to lose everything. So, standing naked at the final destination, you will look all around like a fool. What was the point? You were hurrying so hard and you were worrying so hard, and this is the outcome. Okay, I think I'll stop there. It's interesting.
Those
Um,
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I like to, for this meeting, I just like to read and leave the interpretations open. I have lots of thoughts on it, but I think it kind of speaks for itself. But if you guys have any thoughts, I'd love to hear it.
It was cool. That's a cool deck. And the traveling the eight. This is tarot, right? It's tarot.
Yes, this is
It's
the Ojones in Tarot. Yes.
Eight of Wands.
This is the actually, I don't know what it's the equivalent of. Because they have their own suits here, but I would assume it is the suit of fire. Yeah, it's the eight of wands, probably. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had a thought when you were reading it, and I forgot because it was about fire. And never mind. That's a cool deck. I like the guidebook a lot. I like what it says. There's been a few guidebooks today where I was like, "Ooh, that's blunt," or "That's pretty good." You know, like I hadn't thought of it like that. I love this. Okay, let me take this down. Did anyone have anything they would like to? We're finishing. We're get like I said. I like to get out quarter till 10 till. Is anything that anyone would like to share? Anything that came to mind? I love this group. This is so fun. All right, I am going to make some changes to my calendar. The groups that we already have in place are not changing. I'm going to add. And once it's up, I'll announce it, but you can always catch it on the calendar if you see it. Just to make sure I actually get it up there. Sometimes it takes me a while. Go ahead, Steve.
Don't we have a group right after this?
We have one at 10 about
10 Central.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, what did I do? We have an hour. I'm looking forward to that one, meet and greet. And
Okay.
for those joining on YouTube, you can, I don't know if I'm going to record that, so you might want to hop over to Meetup, Willow Tarot. Yes, there's a meet and greet at 10, and I'm looking at, and everyone's welcome. Please show up. It does not matter where you live. If you happen to be local to McKinney, Texas, that's the North Dallas area, which is fairly large. And really local just means how far are you willing to drive? You're local. We'll meet in person. We'll do an in-person tarot oracle event, and probably in Plano, but I'm open. So yes, that's why we're doing it. Plus I want to see, we've had so many people. I have people join my group every day, and a large number are local, even in the town I live in. And I'm like, where are y'all? Come see me. So yeah. All right, well guys, I'm going to take a minute and shut the room down, so you're welcome to hang while I just chit chat. But I will say goodbye. I'm glad you're here, and I hope to see you again at 10 a.m. Different link, same room, same meetup. So go to Willow Tarot and see it. All right, goodbye, YouTubers. Why just said like that? And Zoom room, you're welcome to stay, but we're over. We're done. I'm just closing shit down as soon as I figure it out. So, and again, I'm just talking. You guys can leave, but anyone that is like, oh, I don't want to do a live stream because I don't know how. I don't know how. Do it. I sit here and go, I don't know what I'm doing. Most of the time I'm doing shit. All right. So YouTubers, I am about to say bye. I don't know why I keep calling y'all that. There is a slight gap. Before you hit stop live stream, you're going to want to give yourself about a 4-second gap because of the lag it takes. So I'm going to count out loud. 1, before I hit stop.